So as an independent producer or a volunteer producer, I can come to the studio and use the studio for free. What that means is I can book it 2 weeks in advance or sometimes 1 month in advance, and I can even book a staff to help me with it. And I'll be able to use the studio here, I'll be able to use the lighting, you name it, the whole setup, and it's not going to cost me anything. It's going to be free. So for those of you who doesn't know that you can come to Studio 8 here at White River Junction and produce a show for free, it's available to you. I mean, did you know when you first came here that you'd be able to do this? Right? You know, nobody knows.
Everybody loves the Rocket Man. Say that everybody loves the man. Everybody watches the Rocket Man when he floats into outer space.
Mic test. Hi, welcome to Studio 8 here at White River Junction, Vermont. My name is Frank Jones. I'm going to show you how to set up a shoot. To keep it simple, when you come into the studio, everything's pretty much set up. You have your 3 cameras, you have your lighting, you have your mic that we plug into the host and the guest. And if you want a wireless one, I'm wearing one right now. This is a lavalier Sony. Most people don't know when you come into the studio that you can actually create your own scene. You don't have to follow the format they have. You can actually set up the way you want it. So today I'm going to show you how to set up the studio the way I want it. So here we go. So today I'm going to have a host. I'm going to have him sit here, but I'm going to move the chair a little bit. So I'm going to maybe move it this way because I want him to be face to face. And then today I'm going to have a guest. She's a writer. I'm going to put it right, have her sit here. So this is the angle I want. I want the host and the guest to be more like face to face with the interview. And then for the backgrounds, you can see maybe what I want to use is all black background. So what I'm going to do is just take these curtains and just move it, close it. So I can create this beautiful plain black background. Now, I'm not good with audio, so I'm going to ask Emily, who is the studio staff, to come in and show me how to plug the audio.
I'm going to have you put the mic kind of through your shirt and then clip it to your collar.
Okay.
Great.
There we
and
go.
We'll do a sound check. So Sophie, can you hear us? Yeah. Great.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Great.
How do I sound?
Whoever is in our control room will be able to tell you if they can't hear you. We'll always do a sound check first to make sure that we can hear what's going on.
Okay. Thank you, Emily.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that's audio, and then basically I'm ready to shoot. So while my host is over there and the guests are waiting, I'm just going to give them at least 5 minutes to get set up and then sit them down and then start the shoot. So sometimes when I'm doing a shoot and it's going to require more than 2 people, maybe 3, maybe a whole crowd of 10, there is space here in the studio that they can all come in and we'll set up a little studio audience shot and then they'll be able to watch. So public can come in and watch the shoot. And for me, it's more entertaining and the guest likes it and the host likes it and they'll be able to watch it the whole hour, the whole 30 minutes that I'm doing this show. When you are creating a show, right, and one thing, when the whole ambience is quiet, it's like it makes people nervous. I don't know if you've ever done that. It makes people nervous. And so what you want to do is like what I do is I talk to the host and I talk to the guests and I try to ask them questions. Even though I'm not going to be the one talking to them, I just ask them questions to make them feel more comfortable about what they're going to expect. And give them reasonable expectations. So for example, I'm going to tell the host, your camera is there. So if you ever need to talk to someone, if you ever need to tell the audience, your audience camera will be right there. That'll be camera number 1. And then the guest is sitting here. I'm going to say, guest, your camera will be number 3. So if you need to talk to the audience, your camera will be number 3, so they know where to look at. So I'm going to set up the studio one more time to show you how I do it with the sound, and then after I set it up, I'm going to show you the actual footage that I taped 2 months ago that created the scene. So here we go. So like I said, I'm going to have the host sit right here, and I would like to have the guest sit right here, and we're going to use this middle table.
On a beautiful spring morning in 1955, my life began, and so did the onset of my growing up years in Plainfield, New Hampshire, a not so small time town.
When I'm producing a
some,
show or I'm putting
Plainfield,
together
a
a
small
show,
town.
it's always nerve-wracking because what happened is, the first question is, are the people going to show up? We know the host is here, but are the guests going to show up? So most of the time, as a good producer, if you want to be a good producer or a good volunteer producer, you want to book at least 2 to 3 guests at one time. So just in case one doesn't show up, you have a backup guest to come in. So for example, when I'm taping the show, The Eye on the Twin State Valley, we always book 2 guests. So if 2 shows up, we do the 2 guests. If 1 shows up, at least we have 1, and that's available. The last thing you want is booking a studio and nobody shows up. Right now, I'm doing a monthly show about the Upper Valley. It's produced by a host named Halford E. Jones from Claremont, New Hampshire. And what he does is he brings in local guests and he talks about the Upper Valley. So the last show we did, it's called The Eye on the Twin State Valley. Recently, Hillary Clinton was in Claremont, New Hampshire, and she was able to visit the town, and most of the people from Claremont did not know that she was in town. So that was a good segue to do the interview with some of the local politicians that we had. So the show right now I'm working on is called The Eye of the Twin State Valley. And Studio 8 is allowing me to produce those shows here, and they allow me to use all the studio equipment I need, and even including the editing, so I can go ahead and have it broadcast. And if you ever need help for anything you do in studio production, you can always count on the staff here. They're very helpful.